when talking about Zambian music, there's certain names that cannot go unmentioned. Names like KB, Killer Beat CEO and founder of K Army. Guys, he's my guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. KB. Welcome to ZMB What's going on?
Not much. You tell me.
I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, now it's the interviewer being interviewed.
No, I mean, I can also interview you, so it works either way.
We're just going to make it a conversation. Let's have a very good conversation.
Yeah.
But then decided to just acknowledge your work, man. Like, you guys are paving the way for us who are coming up.
Yeah.
So it's like you're opening doors and
it's
easy for us, you see?
No.
So it's easy for us to just walk in. Thank you very much for that. Big up yourself.
Yeah. I follow your show, by the way.
I was surprised when you stopped me. I'm like, hey,
yeah, of course I follow. Of course, come on. I mean, YouTube family in Zambia is quite small, so we see what's happening. I mean, I find interest in everything I see, and if I find something quite interesting, I try to watch it. And I was even watching the J-Max one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, who is this bubbly girl? Then when I was like, this girl is tall.
So, how did you manage to build this empire, K Army?
The producer was saying, you need to be careful because KB, it's a very long story. Just to try and cut it short, I never had any ambition of getting into this entertainment business. When I was in school, all I knew was that I was going to complete school, become an IT guy, and that sort of thing. But sometimes things don't go the way you plan them. It so happened at the time is my father had left the country. He had a bit of some problem because my father was not Zambian, so he had to go back home to do a couple of things. So when he went, he was unable to come back after a long time. So I didn't have resources to take myself to school, so I had to fend for myself.
Wow.
So I accidentally got into the entertainment business. And let me just cut it short real quick. So how I got into the entertainment business, I was working in a pharmacy. So the plan was I'll make a bit of some money, pay for my school fees and pick up my results, then do some piecework, raise some money or get a scholarship, get into school, and that was initially my plan. Like I had zero, like I used to rap, but I didn't think, at some point I forgot about the rap and everything. So when I was working in the pharmacy, I had a little radio I used to listen to. So that's the time when the new school radio stations that started, like QFM, Choice FM, and it sounded good. And I just developed interest, and I liked what I hear. And I used to tell my cousin, I want to be a DJ one day. And he looked at me, he's like, you talk too much, you'll probably be a good DJ as well. So yeah, that's, to cut the short, then that's how I became a radio presenter. Then everything else followed. Then from there, I developed interest to become a producer.
Wow.
I started MCing, I started TV, and and before I knew it, I was all-round entertainer.
Nice. And I remember I used to follow Alpha Romeo, that J Cash, Risky.
You must have been in school then.
I was in school. And believe me, that was when I was starting to follow the Zambian music.
Yeah.
But then, what are some of the things that have still kept you relevant? You've been in the game for so many years.
Yeah, 16 years to be specific. Well, almost 17.
So what are some of the things that you say, okay, it's because of these things so I'm still relevant in the game?
Well, it's the approach. When I got into the entertainment business, I came in with the right approach, with the right mindset. I knew what I wanted to do. And, if you know what you want to do in life, it doesn't matter what business, that's why people like Dangote are still making that type of money or still staying relevant even when other people are coming in. It's just if you have the right focus and the right mind for it, you can stay as long as you want. I know a lot of people that came and disappeared. Some even used to take some shots at me, and we don't hear them anymore. I mean, it's how basically it's how you treat the industry. What I'm saying? For me, it's a business. I started off first of all with a passion, and I learned that you can actually make money off this, and you have to start to make money. And I started to learn, how to make the money. And I don't know whether it's luck, but I like to think it's how I handle myself and how I look at things and how I'm open-minded. I'm ready to learn from everybody. I keep myself updated. I listen to the young people, and I've spent some time with the younger generation producers, and I get mesmerized at most of the things that you can learn. Sometimes I even feel like, what? There's so much that I didn't know that, because I don't spend a lot of time at the studio, so you can actually learn a lot from these young people. And I think that helps, because I come and say, how did you do that? How did you do that? Oh, that's how you do it. Oh, wow. So how do you do that? Oh, you do it. Oh, wow. Then I try it, and and it helps. So I'm a beneficiary from a lot of the new wave. Yeah, I mean, I've started with a lot like people like Big Busy. I've learned a lot from Big Busy because he's pretty much a newer school guy. He came because I used to make his music before he started producing. I haven't spent a lot of time with a lot of producers, but I of late I've spent some time with a guy called Easy, the producer, and for me that was like very mind-opening. I've spent a little time with Stash as well, and their co-producer, I've forgotten his name. Is it Maps something?
He'll be mad after watching this interview. How can you forget his name?
I think his name is Maps.
Okay.
Yeah. Maps Key.
Maps Keys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maps
the guy who does the thing.
He doesn't even play the keyboard, but he makes it sound like he's playing the keyboard.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
Stash is the one that plays the keyboard.
Wow, interesting. 16 years in the industry, and you keep on bringing up this new wave like Stash, these other people. But do you have certain artists you wish you have signed, but due to certain circumstances, you haven't even approached them? You just let it slide.
Not really. I mean, to be honest, you see, at the time when a lot of people wanted to get signed to the record label, I had a lot of people. I had the Briskies, Jubies, Alpha, Judy, J Cash, Tice, T-Shon. I'm like, I had, there was a time I remember there was a time I had 9 artists on the record label. So, no matter how good you are or what, even if you had the biggest movement, you can't sign everybody. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I have some regrets, the fact that I didn't pay so much attention to some people. But listen, you never know, how good somebody is gonna be at a certain stage, because when somebody's starting off, most of the people when they're starting off, some are really whack. Like even sometimes you're like, is there a future here? But some you can feel like they can improve, like there's room for improvement, and you know what I'm saying. So the fact that you can't predict what somebody's gonna be in the next 5 years, but also that is also motivation for the artists, because none of us started off and we had to polish. I mean, I started music production from zero. I had zero knowledge about anything. I didn't know what the key was. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't know anything about the keys, but I just had the interest. And of course, I made mistakes when I was starting off, but I learned from my mistakes, and I established myself, through just passion and just learning, and that's how most of the people become great. So if you ever came to me and I turned you down, and that's motivation, and you went on to become big, I'm really happy for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way it's supposed to be, because the same thing happened to me as well. I mean, I sometimes I feel like, people don't see what I can. Like before I got on radio, I used to always feel like these guys don't know what they're missing. I could be the next big guy on radio. And it happened, you know what I'm saying? I had the passion, I had the dream, and it happened. I made it happen.
Interesting. People have got different views and opinions on my diary sessions, so I just managed to analyze all those questions and just put it in one sentence. So are those sessions based on purpose or maybe popularity?
No, I mean, when I started the diary session, and this is what I tell people, the diary session is something I've had in my mind for a long time. It's one of those where you have an idea, but you don't know how you're going to execute the idea. So I didn't know that I was going to get artists to talk about. I just knew that I wanted to do a song where people are going to talk about their experiences, and and I knew it was going to be like a soulful song where people just complain and just talk about what they've gone through, and so ideally I was going to do that, but it was just something that was in my head. I was like, I didn't know how I was going to structure it until one time I just woke up and I thought, I can do like a little commentary, say something on the beat even without the chorus, then get artists to talk about my situation. Then I thought, no, they can't talk about my situation better than I. So why don't I do my little commentaries and get the artists also to come and talk about their situation? And that's how we started. And Dope G was the first guy that I sold the idea to, and he understood it. He came, he did his verse, and that's where the diary was born. Just from there, then after I did the full song, it came out. I was like, can do a series from this.
Yeah.
Then it became a series. Then it was ongoing. Then I went 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're on 8. Then after that, I'm thinking I can do like a conversation where I can have a camera and we can sit down, I guess, and just instead of just having it in the song, we can now just have like a raw conversation. Yeah.
Interesting. And then one thing I like about you is that you've actually taken part of your success to help a lot of young people. For example, my Diary Stations Challenge. So I want to find out what's your plan for the two winners?
Okay, so so my plan really is I'm not gonna say I'm gonna sign. I might sign, but you know, it's not nowadays. It's not really necessary that you have to sign people. What I want to do basically is to give them a platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen this talent there. You know, with my time that I have, you know, if I have some time, I've already recorded one song each, and there's a song they did together. I've got a partner that, you know, came in and said, listen, we can partner and see how we can help, you know, these people and see where it goes. But you know, it's also dependent on the artist as well. You know, you have to put in, it's not just me. I mean, I can only do so much, you know. I'll just use my influence to do your music, try and promote it. You know, people like you talk about it, and you know, people pay attention and critique it. Is it good? You know what I'm saying? And we take it from there. So the plan obviously is to give them a platform. We're still gonna work. Nineo Chileshe is based in Chipata, but it's coming back here. So we'll continue doing some work, and I'll put both of them on my new project, on my new album, and I'll do some more songs. Let's promote them. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's a business like any other business.
Yeah,
so if I see that there's movement and you know we're headed somewhere and feel like we can make some money or whatever the situation is, of course we get into it and see what we can do from there.
Nice. And you've worked with a lot of people.
I've worked with almost everybody.
What are some of the things you've noticed that that have prevented these young and upcoming artists to actually become stars? Because we have a lot of talent in Zambia, but you know, certain things they're not making it.
There's so many talented people, to be honest. There's some that are really lazy. There's some that are not so talented, and those are the people that are always insulting us, taking shots, getting into the inbox, and you know, and just looking for attention. And I said it, if you listen to my diary, I say, what was the exact words? I can't remember exactly. I say, I can't tell you how to be successful, but I can tell you how you can fail. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you think people owe you favors, and you know, just being lazy, you know. And I make reference to us because our grind was different. We didn't have internet, and you know, we had to make CDs. We had to go everywhere and trying to flood the music, take it to taxi drivers. So I look at that house when people say no, but you know, things are now better. Why don't you want to help? And I say, you know what? And I tell people, like, if you don't go through some of those things, you never really understand what it takes to get out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we do. I mean, there's a lot of people that send me stuff, and I think your stuff sound good, and I'll try and advise. I mean, I can't sign everybody, but of course there are people that send me some stuff that, like, I remember how I knew Natasha Chansa. We were doing a series with the manager
Walia.
Yeah, Walia. So we were acting in the same series. So while we're doing that, I mean, she knew I was a person. Like, oh, there's, you know, I'm signing this management team, so I signed a lady called Natasha Chansa. Would you listen to the music? And you know, she sent me the music, and I listened. I was like, wow. And I remember telling her, she's very good. You know, but I mean, because I don't understand how the younger generation works, but I'm like, I think where we're going, the younger generation are starting to embrace this kind of sound. Like the younger people, you know, they're starting to accept people that, you know, do their stuff predominantly in English. You know, in our era, it was just going to be like, oh, this is good, and it just ends there. I remember like, she is really good. You know, like I endorsed it. You know what I'm saying? So 2 years later, we had a chance, then we started working, and I always knew that she was talented, and you know, and that's. I like to work with young talented people. If you've noticed, like people that I can't know my jail, there's nothing to do with that. If you're really talented and I really like what you bring to the table, it's the same thing I do with Neo. If I think you really bring to the table, I want to work with you.
Speaking of Neo, what happened? I was having a conversation with him. I'm like, I used to with K-Ami, and he said, no, I'm with K-Ami.
Well, Neo decided his fate. Neo decided that he wants to do his own thing. It's got nothing to do with me. You know, I'm a type of person that is. You know, everything that I do is supposed to be done a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're with me, if you do something that I'm not happy with, I sit down and I tell you. Of course, sometimes tempers flare, you know, because when you invest so much into something, you know, you can lose your cool a little bit, and, you know, I'll probably confront you, say, listen, I didn't like what happened, yada, yada, and, you know, if we're going to work, you know, so that made it a little uncomfortable. Then
are you in good books though?
Of course. I mean, I don't have a problem. I mean, for me, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's, if I'm working with you, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't know you were not friends before. You know, you just came in, and I thought there's a good business opportunity here. I can make an R&B superstar, and we started to work. And I told him, you know, we're almost there. You know, you have to be patient. You know, J-Cash stayed for like 5-6 years without, you have to be patient. You have got good songs. Yes, people have not responded the way they're supposed to respond, but we're almost there. We have to keep putting the product out, and one day people are just look at Dave. You know what I'm saying?
I believe in the principle of time as well.
Exactly. Look at Dave. Look at Yoma. You know what I'm saying? All these people. Actually, Dave and Neo started off at about the same time.
Yes.
And I'd like to think that Dave is miles ahead right now, even though I still think Neo is very talented. And I honestly wish him all the best in whatever he does. You know, he still comes to the studio.
Wow.
At times, like, you'll be sitting with Big Busy, I'll be doing, I don't have a problem.
Nice.
But yeah,
nice.
we're not working like business, but obviously, you know, I probably put him on a record or, you know what I'm saying, we still do the work because it's business, you know, there's nothing personal about it.
I get it. Yeah. The issue of privacy, you've been talking, piracy, not privacy. You've been talking about it.
Even privacy.
Oh, yes. You've been talking about it online, but then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is it a big deal now?
It is a big deal, you know, and I say we need to start having workshops, you know, to educate these people how it works. First of all, this is how we're making an income now. You know, we're in an age where there's monetization. You know, you put your music on YouTube, your channel is monetized. The more views you get there, you start to make an earning. You know what I mean? It's not much because we're not matching the standards of, say, the Tanzanian industry or the Nigerian industry. But whatever little that we're making is good enough. You know, I have a problem when I put out a record, then 7-8 bloggers they go and download my content. Some of them probably even have more followers than I do, then put it on their channel, and that kind of just divides the views, and you find that my song is struggling to. So I took it upon myself and said, this is not going to happen. I'm going to change. I'm not going to tolerate anybody. I mean, in the past, I would just ignore it. I said, I'm not going to tolerate it. If you want to help me, I don't have a problem. Embed my link into whatever it is that if you've got a blog, you write about it. KB's got a new song. Get my link and put it there. If I don't want to put my stuff for free, don't put it for free. If you know, I want to put it on AudioMac because I want the numbers there to grow as well, or I want to sell it. That's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? If nobody gonna have, like, for me, I'm not a performing artist, so it's not like I'm gonna have a show over the weekend and make money. You know, even if I sell 10 records, it's fine. I've got songs that people have never heard from both my albums, but I don't have a problem. But the people that stream the music discover it. So actually I was talking to somebody that just discovered a song from my first album. I was like, this is a nice song. And now they're abusing it. So for me, it still works because music is gold. Yeah. Music doesn't have an expiry date. Yes. You know, even when I die 20, 30 years from now, somebody's going to wake up and say, oh, this was a gold album. And, you know, that's when maybe people now will start to, you know, maybe my children are going to benefit off that. Yeah. So I don't have a problem. Like, for me, it's not like I want my music, everybody to for free. No, it's okay. I'll preserve it. You know, those that want to stream it, they'll listen to it. And it will bring some money in my account. I'll pay my bills. And I'm okay with that.
And you just mentioned about your children. I believe you have a beautiful family.
Yeah.
Yes. So you've mastered the music art. You know the corners and the angles. You play smart and short.
Yeah.
So if one of them was just to approach you and say, Dad, you know what? I think music is my calling. I don't want to do school anymore.
There's no one's going to tell me I don't want school. I mean, you have to do school. You have to do school, obviously. You have to do school. But whatever that they want to do, I'm not going to stop them because I'm the product of that. You know, I follow because I had a fallout with my father. Actually, my father died a year after I joined radio. He was never for the idea.
So do you have a major in anything else, or it's just music and DJ for you?
What do you mean exactly?
Like, did you go to school to get?
Yeah. I did. I mean, I went as far as. I wish I would have gone to degree level. I went as far as a diploma for computer system engineering. So, like I said, you know, for me, school, I really. I mean, if it wasn't these hiccups, you know, I would have had like a white collar job now. But you know, we all have different callings, and I'm here now. But I'm planning. You know, hopefully, if you know, time allows. I still want to go just get a degree or something. Like I want to have that, you know, like you know, it's never too late to be honest, you know, and just have that. But yeah,
okay.
The music has put me in a good position still, so I'm not complaining.
I see it. Yeah. You look, you're understanding. So music is feeling you real good.
Well, we're trying.
All right, so I'm sure this is like the first time I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
It's just someone who's watching you there for the first time as well. Just word of advice to that person who's trying to push, just trying to, persist in whatever they're doing. But things are really kind of like rough right now.
Things are always going to be rough. Sometimes, you want me to look in the camera?
Yes, look in the camera.
Sometimes, things don't seem the way they are. You see KB here standing, or you see me everywhere, and you think, I wish I was in his shoes. Listen, 17 years in the business, for me to be just here. So it never happened overnight. I just didn't wake up and things, started happening. So you have to be patient. You have to have a goal. You have to have the inspiration, and you have to keep moving. When you fall down, get yourself up and keep going. When you fall, get up. Sometimes people push, and it's probably not your calling. Like rapping, like when I started off rapping, I thought I have to make this work. I realized at some point that, you know what, I'm not that good of a rapper. I'm like a P Diddy, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear P Diddy rapping, but he's not the best of rappers. Like you have to know what your strength is. So I knew earlier that I was better off a producer and a presenter and just than a rapper. Like I just always thought like my rapping skills were just really average, nothing special about them. And if you're honest enough as an individual to know what your strength is, then you will definitely make it. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really, right now I'm starstruck. You just don't understand. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
COVID-19, eh?
Yeah.
How are you keeping up though?
Yeah. Where's my mask? I just mask up.
You just mask up.
Yeah. Like now we've been keeping like a long meter.
Yes.
I just make sure that when I'm going like where the people are, I just make sure I have it on. I've got my sanitizers everywhere, and I avoid crowds.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice one.
Hey, there you have it, guys. It was Mr. KB. Right now, I'm starstruck. You just don't understand. But thank you so much. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video. And also head over to my diary session, Skype. Watch what's happening there. It's going down for real.
Search for official KB as well.
Yes.
But this is a good channel, by the way.
Yes, thank you
Good
so
job.
much.
Good job to the producers. And yeah, the bubbly lady there.
You know what I say? It's hashtag elevating the industry. Let's say that together.
Hashtag elevating the industry.